Live. Okay. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Double AF here with my boy Big Mike, the one and only Big Mike.
Hello,
Say what's up.
hello, everybody. How are you?
All right, y'all. So if you don't know who Big Mike is, he's my co-host from the podcast that I talk about all the time, Moss Media. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can Google us. We're all over the place. We're the hottest thing since sliced bread.
Ooh,
This is new, obviously, as you guys know. I don't have any audio, no, any video right now. So Mike is helping me out with trying to incorporate video to the channel, and also we're going to incorporate video to our podcast as well. So right now we're going to be pretty much breaking down one of Cynthia G's videos. I've done a few videos about her. I'm not sure if Mike, if you know about Cynthia G, Mike, do you?
nope, nope,
Wow.
nope, nope.
Okay, so this is toxic femininity at the core.
Oh,
All right.
oh,
So be prepared
oh,
because some
oh, shit.
shit's about to spew through her mouth.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. So without further ado, let me start this and then we'll chime in.
All right.
Telling you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white. Okay. And I'm white. You're white. Yes. Hey guys, so I wanted to go over a TikTok video that a couple people sent me. And you guys know what I say about TikTok. TikTok is basically right now one of the primary means by which black men get to express their white worship. And so we're going to talk
Oh
about
my.
right now. I've been talking about black men's worship of whiteness, be it male or female, dog, cat, whatever. As long as they're able to obtain something that's white, that's all that matters to them. And that should help you understand not only their pathology and all of this anger and vitriol towards black women, but also why they're sitting comfortably in a system of subjugation where
Ooh.
able to express their manhood. They claim they're not able to provide for their children. We know that they are the most unemployed group of the face of the planet. They constantly talk. Okay, let's just stop it right there because she just said a whole lot. A whole lot.
Oh my god.
So
Oh.
I told you she's toxic femininity at the core.
Whew. Wow. I mean, she couldn't even get into her point first before she like shit, Lord. Like what? Like damn, I'm almost gonna forget the point of the video before she even gets like she just shit on every living Negro before she could even like I thought this was about the what's it called, the TikTok platform that is now the pinnacle platform for white worship for black males, and then she just starts going into like a whole tangent about the most unemployed, just like what ethnicity is this woman actually?
She's quote unquote black.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you take it away because I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how the rest of this fall, like how the rest of this plays out for
Oh,
sure.
you already know how it's gonna play out. So, for the listeners out there, my viewers, this is what I mean when I say toxic femininity. Like Mike just said, she couldn't even get to the topic of discussion before all that vile and hatred just started oozing out of her fucking lips. Just
Mm,
like she could not control herself. It was like verbal diarrhea, just like literally
Jesus Christ,
uncontrolled.
man.
And she says all that. Obviously, something hurt her. You know what I'm saying? She probably has daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
We could definitely get into that at a later date. But let's just get back to the video because she just went
Yeah.
on a whole rant.
Holy fuck, man.
Talking about what they can't do. Yeah, I have a very specific focus, and it's something that I've been talking about for quite a while. And this focus is snow bunnies. Black men have this obsession with the womb of their oppressor to the degree that it doesn't matter how she's packaged, it doesn't matter her attitude, it doesn't matter her anti-black sentiments, because he carries the same anti-black sentiments. They can run around talking about we gonna make black kids with Becky. We start a new black community. we Becky since we won't submit. We the prize
Okay. So look. Now I've said this before to y'all on my channel, and I'll say it again. I'm married to a Caucasian woman. Right now, if one were to ask me why did I marry a Caucasian woman, the answer would be because she fit the bill the best. Okay, she aligned with my values, my expectations better than any other suitor out there, regardless of the color. So at the end of the day, I know there's a whole lot of pro blacky blacks out there that be like, "Oh, you
Does.
know, with a black god, man. Come on, king, a black goddess, and then a Nubian, all this and that and the third." But look, I could have done that, right? And I could be bashing my head against the wall because I did some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the black women aren't good, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying the majority of them aren't in their right mind, and that's nothing. That's going to lead to nothing but headaches and heartache that I don't have time for. You know, the expectation is already there with my wife and I. You know, she respects the male principle. I don't have to freaking go to battle every day for my manhood. You know what I'm saying? With my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about like, oh, like, oh, black woman that, black woman this. No, it's real simple. The majority of y'all want to fight. Y'all got way too much uh, masculine energy on y'all, and y'all think everything's like a competition, and it's really not. It's really not. And that's getting more and more apparent as the days go on. People like Kevin Samuels are exposing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm. What I won't say is I won't say majority minority because I've come across in my life I've come across a good few. I don't say a good few, a good amount of. I thought it was the majority, right? Like I was on your plane when after high school, right? Like because when the ones that we were surrounded by were fit that bill entirely, right? Like it just was extremely apparent that they were dealing with a whole host of issues and they wanted nothing more than to be with a guy that fit that that moniker, right? That moniker of chaos um and non-structure and things of that nature. And that's something I just didn't want to sign up for, right? But once I went to college, it was like a whole new world. I'm literally like the was that Aladdin? Whatever. It just a whole new world. Like I literally like the first conference I went to was a conference down in South Carolina, and when I tell you, like the amount of all shades of of darknesses just were with unbelievable amounts of vigor, unbelievable amounts of goal setting. There was a humbling to them, right? So what I want to say is that I think it's really regional when it comes down to it, because down south it's not. What I was exposed to was not that combative, in your face, you ain't shit ninja, all that. Like there wasn't any of that when I went to the conferences down south. So what I won't say is that it's a majority, but what I will say is that it's an increasingly um prevalent population of women that are taking up, I think we spoke about this in our last podcast episode, that are taking upon this sort of attitude that this woman's talking, just this straight up like, I've washed my hands of the men on my side of the spectrum, and let me tell you all about yourselves in the most non-productive, you know uh like completely abashing, without any sort of productivity whatsoever. Like it's there's nothing good that can come from this it's like what I would tell you is like sometimes just like how you start and engage the conversation with certain people. It's like the little things you say and use. Like I was all here for this conversation, and then she literally just started going into like a whole bunch of microcosms that have with no context, just laying it out there, irresponsibly for her view. And how many views does this video get?
oh man,
Because I didn't see that. Like, because I'm sure it's like 200 plus.
it's 57,000.
57. Even still, and it's got 4,000 likes and 107 dislikes. So you already know, right? Like, and I'm sure. And what was it released? And it was only released this year, right? So I'm sure the more traction it gets, and it may even get more traction getting put up on by us, right? Because we're showing y'all the name of the video,
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, like, it's gonna pick up steam, and it's gonna be a number of women. If there's 300 million women on the planet, I mean, not on the planet, in the United States, sorry, 300 million people in the United States, and you break that up, proportionally by women to men, I can only imagine the amount of women that are going to co-sign this nonsense,
Oh yeah,
right? So yeah, man, again, I'm still intrigued, not more so by the subject matter she is, like the value of the subject matter, but more so just by how far down this hole is she really going to go.
exactly.
That's that's what I'm curious about.
We didn't even get to the video yet.
We're not even, yeah, we're not even. What is that? 2 minutes from where
Yeah,
I'm looking at. Jesus, 22 minutes left, and I'm already like, this is this your leader? Is this is this your captain? Is this
yes,
is this who you
yes,
picked to represent you in the forum? Oh,
yeah,
by all means, have at it. Have
yeah.
at it.
This is their the liberal black female is freaking like Joan of Arc, man.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
going
She's
to
probably in
bat.
the Black Lives. She probably goes to Black Lives Matter rally movement. I mean, rally
I don't think
movement.
so.
Lord,
I'll give
movement
her that much
rallies.
credit. I
Oh
don't think.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Oh.
I'm not sure. If anyone listening to this knows, please leave it in the comments or chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not think she, because I think she's on a different level of wokeness, where like she
Yes.
understands that that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Very least.
Okay. Well. Okay. I could see that. I could see. It's the direction that she goes with her takes that just automatically scream to me like just neo feminist that just is like just not. There's no room. Like she, I don't. If she has a man, I would be highly. Like I would be surprised.
You know what's funny? See this visual that she has on the video says Dusty Beta Male. She
Yeah,
got a baby by this dude named. I did a video.
Lord.
I think his name is like Robert Perkins or whatever, and he's some
Okay.
like one of these like fake internet like wokey wokes. He has like a small platform, a bigger than mine,
Okay.
obviously, but I watched um I watched a video with him and Jesse Lee Peterson, and that's how I found out about him. And then I made a
Oh
video
shit.
about that, and I went in on that guy. And then I kept getting suggestions for her videos, and then Tariq Nasheed
Mm.
went in on both of them because they got a baby together, and I didn't know that. And I was like, oh,
Wait, who went on in on both of them?
Tariq Nasheed.
Okay, okay, okay. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yo, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
he went in
yeah.
on it,
He's.
and yeah, nah.
I
So yeah,
like Tariq. I like Tariq. He has some good moments.
I like Tariq too. Sometimes he can be a bit extra, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
yeah.
it's funny that her image was Dusty Beta male, and she had a baby by one of the dustiest, most betas of males I've ever seen on YouTube in my entire life.
Maybe that's why she's so damn angry.
Probably, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's why she's so just internalizing and projecting all that pain and all those missed birthdays and letdowns and I'll be there for his basketball game. Yeah, all right. Show it. No, no, not, I take that back. He might even show up with a whole new woman and a whole nother baby.
With a white girl, right?
Yeah, yeah, with a prissy white girl with a big old booty and some big old tetas and a nice juicy lips that make you go crazy and just long hair. This girl, she I wouldn't be surprised if she just slit her throat as soon as she saw her walking to the gym. Like,
For real.
oh my god, the amount of internalized hate that is just spewing out this woman's mouth. Like I want someone, to see this live and I don't care, man or woman, please tell me what from the first listen to this thing and like I want us to continue, right? Because I know we have a lot that we haven't gotten to, but tell me that this, you're not hearing a lot of pain in this woman's voice when she's talking about men. Like in the first, we haven't even gotten to the crux of the video, guys, and she's already shitting on a whole population of men without any figures, any numbers, or any context to be responsible for those comments. And I don't, Lord, please,
All right, let me continue.
dangerous.
If you don't see me, we'll just go to somebody else.
Oh,
Understand. Black women complain about black men so much, and they complain about how we don't want them, how we sell out, how we really hate ourselves, and all this bullshit, right? But when
hmm.
it gives you an example of other races and men, examples of black men, why they date out their race, and how we want submissive women, automatically, why would she be your slave? No, it's not fucking being a slave, you idiot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Man, because you love him. And that's what you should want to do. But, as a result, you were complaining about black men dating outside their race, and you wonder why. Like, shit.
Oh.
Masculine and rebellious and disagreeable and hard to get along with. Black men are going to continue to date white women, Spanish women, Russian women. It don't matter. But guys, there still are submissive black women out there, and that's beautiful because I date them.
Hey, there it is.
I mean,
That
honestly,
that was an important. He finished that shit off important, like so importantly too.
yeah. He's like, like there are some good ones out there. But if you listen to Cynthia G, or if you are Cynthia G, you are not one of the good ones. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. When you have all this anger inside, you can't tell me it's anything else. We have a lot of anger and self-hatred. And then they try to project it onto us, like the quote-unquote black man. They try to pull that old okie doke. But like I say this all the time. I say it on this channel. I say it on the podcast. If you are not for the black man, you are not for the black community. That's how you know that what she's saying stems from that, like you said, neo-feminism. And I call it neo-feminist bullshit. Because neo-feminists, obviously, they don't give a fuck about the black man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not for the black man, you're not for the black community. So if you're a quote-unquote black woman, or even a quote-unquote black dude that's a simp-ass nigga that follows Cynthia G, you're not for the black community, bro. Real, like, simple. That's the litmus test. Okay, from now on, we're going to implement a litmus test. All right? Are you for the black community? Yes, I am. Are you for reinstating the black man at the head of the household in the community? No, I'm not. All right, then. Sorry, that's strike 1, 2, and 3. You're out of here.
Oh shit.
That's it.
No. I'm honestly, I think his take was extremely important because I think that, and I remember I was telling you about this, as we were at that conference about, they were talking about already listening and always listening, right? And I feel as though, I don't want to say I feel as though, what has occurred to me throughout these types of conversations is that when you're looking at the word with certain words, there's so much meaning that people attribute to these words based upon their emotions that it just like literally skyrockets the amount of story that it's created by use of those words. Because when someone says submissive, my first thought is not somebody just getting down on their knees and worshiping the ground that I walk on. It's not somebody that's like, if I ring a bell, they're running to my help. I'm not thinking of Jeffrey, the butler. I'm not thinking of a slave. Like, and if I and if you're a strong man of color, there's nothing in your being that wants a slave. Like, I wouldn't want someone who doesn't have the mental capacity to be able to speak her own mind. Obviously, speak it with a certain amount of intent and direction as well as forethought, but as well, just to have that sort of back and forth communication is extremely paramount for me, at least. Right. So when someone gets so turned off by like, oh yeah, I mean, I want a woman that is able to submit. The reason why I say that personally is because I feel like if you're ever going to have a successful relationship, right, a woman needs to be able to allow, right, her man to be the man, right? Whatever that comes with, whatever's dressings you want to put on it, and that takes a level of submission, right? Because that means that perfectly well, if you make $150,000 a year, let's say, and you're doing so great in your career, and you got it like that, but that the way that our society is structured and sort of and has been created, that man has to be the fixture and stable of your household. So there are certain things that he needs to be able to do in order to create that said picture, right? And I think that's something that women, they see and they go, well, I could take care of myself. I could do everything I want. I don't need to bow down to no man. It's like just take it easy. Why are you so gun ho? And I think this is why a lot of different ethnicities stray away. I mean, sorry, a lot of African American males stray away from them. It's because they don't want that energy, right? That energy of constant. We got to deal with it enough when we go outside into the workplace every day. You know what I'm saying? We have to deal with that battle of, am I, getting fucked over because of this? Am I getting fucked over because of that? The last thing I want to come to is come back to home to someone who's taking everything that I say and creating that's what you want out of you. You thought what you want me to be white? You want me to be crystal clean? You want me to bow down to you? You want me to be your bitch? You want me to be all these? And it's like I don't need that's not what I ever asked for. It's not whatever. That's not even the picture I would want to draw. So I think that comment by this guy, about the parallels and the paradoxes that get created when you talk about submissiveness, that's something that I can relate to completely, because anytime I bring up that conversation with women from around up here, oh Lord, the barn burners go off. You want a shuck and jive girl, huh? You want a girl that's gonna roll over and let you walk all over. And I'm like, wow. I'm just like, who hurt you? That's my first thought. Is what guy hurt you and took advantage? Because I guarantee you, there's a guy named Jamil that is in her phone that she over here thinking about, like, damn man, he fucked me good, but he fucked me over. Like that's what's going through that girl's head, and I'm telling you, it's like clockwork, man. It's
Yeah,
annoying.
dude, I'm telling you right now. You know what's interesting is that Cynthia G herself added that snippet of that dude into this video. Why
Right.
she did that? Because she's delusional. That's the mind of the liberal black female nowadays. She
Mm.
literally took a great example of a quote unquote black man laying it out plainly,
Mm-hmm.
clearly, and somehow she saw that video and said, "I need to use this as reference for the bullshit that I'm about to say."
Well,
Like,
I'm curious. What is she? Well, I want to know what how she responded to his comments, or if she did respond to those
she
comments.
kind of glossed over it, so I'll play it. Hold on.
Okay. Which wouldn't that doesn't surprise me.
Out there, and it's beautiful because I date.
I had to show you guys that video really quickly so that you can understand the narrative of these three trash bags carrying struggle dusties and how they'll try to manipulate
Wow.
black women. And
Struggle Dusties.
because of the black male.
She said we try to manipulate the behavior of black women.
Struggle Dusties. No, you know what? I will say this, right? Just really quickly, it's the already this is something I learned in a car. This already always listening shit is hard as fuck, man. Like I'm like listening to her, right, and I'm trying to hear her, but Lord, like the monikers and the different little the digs and the jabs, right, and it's the same thing I tell you, right, with I know when you say the wokey wokes and all this, like people can get lost in your message, when we make it's literally this is what's happening with this girl, like all of her, like it's just like I'm already like building an opinion as she's talking. Like there's a whole conversation in my mind going as she talks about how idiotic she is, and I'm like trying to hear her out. But Lord, there's like so much filth that's being slapped on top of filth, and it's like It's keeping my ears from registering the good or the sensible in anything that she's saying. Oh my God, man, this is tough. This God bless you for getting through this whole. If you got through this whole video, like. And anybody who does now, maybe that's why it only has 57,000 views at the moment. Because shit, like she should have shortened the shit out of this. Because I don't know what the. Wow, man.
That's that toxic
Holy.
man. Hold on, it gets worse. We still didn't start the video yet.
Yo, Struggle Dusties. Got me lost at Struggle Dusties, man. Wow. Okay. All right. Well.
That we live in, unfortunately, because of this janky, trifling, counterproductive socialization that we have been fed as women, generation after generation after generation.
Woo.
Black men now have this attitude where, despite not having any resources, they are literally arrogant, talking about their the prize, and basically telling you that if you don't.
So I'll stop there because, like she said, black men have no resources. Now, as a whole, the black community has no resources, and this is my issue. She's trying to point at black men and say you have nothing to offer. As a whole, the community has nothing to offer. You know what I mean? So why are you trying to start like this? Like envision that we're all trying to crawl out of this hole. You're a little bit above on this hole, right? As we're crawling out, and you're trying to kick us down. Mind you, our status in this hole was created by the people at the top of the hole.
Right.
So they put us in these positions strategically. The quote unquote black woman nowadays, her issue is that because the quote unquote European placed her above the black man, that she
Mm.
is apparently better than the black man. And she
Mm.
wants to point out all the quote unquote flaws that the black man has, but likes to
Right.
gloss over the fact that a lot of it was strategic because the black man is the ultimate threat. The black woman is not a threat. The black woman
Mm.
is actually a godsend because in corporate America, due to what's that shit called? Affirmative action.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to hire minorities, why not hire a black woman? That's a woman and she's black. That's two birds, one stone.
Mm.
You know, these are simple things, but when you bring it up to the woman, oh well, no, how come this women graduating with a higher percentage and getting a 4-year degree? But again, with that 4-year degree, you're going and getting these jobs where it's affirmative action again. You're going to these corporate white collar jobs and you're working for the
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote white man. You're not going to work for the quote unquote black man anywhere because you don't see the quote unquote black man as an authority figure. You see yourself
Mm.
as an authority figure over him. So you get your little degree, you go to corporate America, and you become a bad bitch and you're the baddest. But you go home every night and you freaking watch Sex and the City reruns while you're drinking
Oh.
wine, guzzling down antidepressant pills. With your
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the fucking truth. You know, like, tell me I'm wrong.
Shit, man. This is tough, man. This is tough. Not because of anything you said that doesn't obviously ring true. Um, it's just like, oh my god, man. See, this is why when we had this conversation on the podcast, just like this, right? This is the voice that I'm speaking to, right? Because and while it may be ring on deaf ears, and I may not be able to reach someone who's as deluded as this woman, at the same token, Lord God help me if I don't try to at least create some level of understanding between the fact that as you were trying to, I believe the essence of what you were saying is that trying to state that we're all on the same team, and yet what you're doing is completely counterproductive to the end goal that you're looking for, which is essentially to have black men and black women together in a cohesive, healthy environment of love, respect, and honorship. But
Mm-hmm.
yet everything that you're saying, right, and everything that you're setting to say, and again, we're only 4 minutes into a 24-minute video. There has been no light in anything that you're saying, and I understand heavy, like hard, what's it called, tough, tough love. I understand that, very much so. You know what I mean? I grew up on it, but this is not tough love. There's nothing about this conversation that she's trying to create in this channel that screams of anything besides I'm going through a whole bunch of hurt. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of anxieties, pains on my end that I haven't come to terms with. So you know what? Let me use my outlet and use my voice on a social platform to be able to just spew out as much frustration and hatred that I have towards my own and see what comes as a result of it. And what's happening is she's getting 4,000 likes and only 107 fucking dislikes. So now what she's saying is, "Oh wow, people are listening. They see him. These women are seeing my pain. They're seeing the hurt. They're seeing all of the shit that I'm going through. Let me go. Let me continue more." And I feel like at some point she's losing the point as to why she put this channel together in the first place. And that was the initial point that I mentioned about getting black men and black women together in healthy relationships. And I feel like that message has, because you can't tell me 20 minutes more of this. There's going to be a final part where she's like, all in all, y'all, we got to stick together. I don't see none of that. I don't see that being a end goal of none of this shit.
She
So
can't be in a relationship, in a real relationship. You can
no,
tell
no,
just by the
absolutely not.
she's talking. You can tell she cannot be in a real relationship, and I don't even just mean with a quote unquote black man. She can't be in a real
Right.
relationship with any man
No, no, I agree.
talking like that.
I
It's
absolutely agree.
crazy.
No.
Let's get
With
back to
this
the.
type of energy, this type of combative energy.
Oh, no.
You don't act in a they feel you need to act so that they can have a false sense of manhood and dominance that they're going to switch up and Becky. But here's the thing: these
Huh.
snowbunnies are starting to realize that they're getting the same black men that women get, and so if you guys haven't noticed, more of them are coming and expressing their lack of desire to be with black men. I mean, it already started out as them saying, "Look, we only want you because of the sexual upgrade," but now you have a lot of them coming out and saying, well, the BBC is just a myth, and a lot of them don't got BBC. You guys saw the clip,
Hmm.
and that was literally a woman who was dating a black man who had just got done tricking off his money, yet she sat up there and told him that he wasn't a prize. And if you guys were to watch the entire video, you would see that not only is she saying that it's not a badge of honor to get attention from them, she still values her own male group, men of no color. She also stated later on in the video that the BBC concept was a myth and that black men are not better sexually than anyone. So black men, despite being given the truth about who they are by both their preferences and black women, they're still running around with this cognitive dissonance, choosing to be delusional and believe what they want to believe. And whenever somebody creates an alternate reality and they get caught up in their delusion and they cling to that delusion, it is because they cannot face reality. And if they were to face reality, it would be such a hard blow that it would do irreparable damage. And I believe that has already been done to the psyche of the black male. But I don't think black women should sit up and
What the fuck is this bitch talking about?
Yo.
Like,
Oh man.
I can't. I like. She just keeps on like about a whole bunch of bullshit. But hold on, listen, fellas, I'm talking to y'all right now. As you can see by the views and the likes, a lot of quote unquote black women agree with this nonsense. But before I even get into that, let's just start with what we know. She's worried about the dating relationships of black men with Caucasian women. Why? Probably because she ain't got a man. I'll tell you one thing: a woman that has a man ain't worried about nobody else's bullshit. They worried about what they man wants, what they man likes. That's what they worried about. Okay, so the
Yes,
fact
sir.
that she said already, all right. So she keep on checking. As long as we keep doing what we gotta do, then we good. But the problem is a lot of y'all niggas ain't doing what they gotta do because she is eventually gonna get to show this fucking video eventually, and this dude out here obviously isn't the example. She chose like the lowest of the low to use it as an example. But we already know why she would do that. But anyway, when she does show that, obviously this dude was simping, hard body, and obviously we're gonna discuss that too. But I just wanted to interrupt there because I know she was putting me to sleep with that nonsense with no content. No context whatsoever. It was like empty rhetoric. She's just saying, and it's sad because Mike and I said it multiple times already. Someone clearly hurt this woman. You know what I'm saying? Someone could. I can assure you one thing right now. She could not be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And as long as women are out there freaking, hoorahing for her, I guarantee the same thing. They are not in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we have the power to grant them the relationship, which is what they ultimately want. That's the validation that they get when they age. When a woman's in her mid-30s and above, and she's single, people look at her like, "What's wrong with her?"
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. So then they get a cat, and then they wind up being single for the rest of their life. And crazy, because the longer they go without a man, the more crazier they are towards men.
Mm.
It's just that's the reality of it. So at the end of the day, they're going to be coming to you, man, and hopefully you have your shit together and you have your a right sound mind, and you understand that you have leverage and power, and it's your choice, and you have options. Then you make the best decision for yourself, and obviously
Mm-hmm.
your family, as opposed to fucking around, getting these bros knocked up, and then now you locked in for the next 18. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
you marry somebody, because a lot of times too, women love to dictate the pace of the relationship. and that's something that we must not allow. We can't allow that because you'll get in a relationship with a woman, and then she'll try to fast forward that shit in 2 months, 3 months, moving in and getting married. You can't have that. You cannot have them dictating that shit because they have their Disney programming where they all
Mm.
believe that they're actual princesses, and they're not. This is the real world that we live in. So you can't allow that to happen because next thing you know, you'll be footing the bill for all that shit, and then she'll fucking divorce your ass and take it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, I mean, I'll pride myself on just listening to this and getting out of a space of she's wrong, she's wrong, she's wrong, she's wrong, she's wrong, and I'm in a space more so of like I feel sorry for her, right? Like I like as you were talking about, as far as saying that this woman is dealing with so much, like all I'm hearing, right, is just pain. Like I can't dissociate any of this anymore. It's just like I just feel like I'm listening to someone rant about, you know, um she's literally ranting about her personal experience without saying it's my personal experience. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm hearing, and I think being in this space now. I mean, if this is to what 6 minutes in, and there's 18 more minutes of this, then I think that I will come away with nothing more knowing that if I'm hearing her correctly, right? All I'm hearing is just straight up emotional, and I know women are gonna get triggered by this word, emotional damage. Look, she sounds damaged. I'm sorry. Like she sounds like someone didn't love her enough. Someone duped her. Somebody gave her the okey doke, as my co-host so eloquently stated earlier. As far as in different terms, that it's just that's all I'm getting. And I'm about to wave the white flag. Because it's just and as my co-host mentioned, like there's no way this woman should be or is in a relationship. Like there's just no way. It's and if she is, Lord, Lord, man, she'll be on the 10 o'clock news. She'll be on Eyewitness News, and you know why? Because there'll be some hands on her. I'm sorry. Like there's no way. And I honestly, I don't even want to say all that because I don't think a lot of the women that talk like this, I don't even think really walk that walk. To be honestly, I mean, sorry, they don't. What is that the saying? Walk that talk,
Yeah, walk the
right?
walk.
I because I feel like I don't want to say it again. I say I'm getting it all caught up in her emotions. I'm using feeling. I don't believe that a man, right, that acts the way that she wants to act is gonna be able if she's going to spit this type of fire, vigor at that said man. There's no way. Like if this man comes with the energy that she's so quote unquote looking for, none of anything that she's saying is going to be coming in his direction at the dinner table when they're on that first date. I guarantee you, she's going to be like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's yeah, I've had my past, I've had my." She's going to be dainty. She's going to be, prissy. She's going to be womanly, right? Non-combative. Because I guarantee you, she ain't doing that. I'm not even going to talk about if she a celebrity. I'm talking about a high valued man, as Kevin Samuels talks about. If a high valued man was sitting in front of her, courting her, she did none of this energy's coming out. Because you know why? It ain't getting her the ring. I'll tell you that right now. That energy is not getting the ring. So I don't understand why you want to give this energy now on a highly public platform, and then at the end of the day, create an inauthentic virtual world for yourself where the men that you actually want to date, you're not going to bring said energy anywhere near those intimate conversations. I'm sorry. And if she does, then God willing, she will be that auntie that everybody hates to invite to the Christmas parties with all of the cats, and that she travels around the world and she's extremely lonely and depressed and doesn't need a man to define her life. But at the end of the day, she's reading Vogue and teen magazines at the age of 60. So hey, all power to you.
Yeah, yeah. All power to you. Black girl magic.
Dead.
Express any type of empathy because at the end of the day, when you put all
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
get to this video,
Oh boy.
I want to say shout out and thank you to everyone who sent me content. If you want to contribute to the content on this channel,
Every
do so
woman.
by emailing my email address in the description box and pinned to the
To
comment
everyone.
section. So already like the video or dislike it if that's how you feeling. Subscribe to the channel because YouTube will unsubscribe you. When you do subscribe, don't forget
Nobody want to subscribe to your shit.
and subscribe to all notifications so you'll know
Sure.
every time and when I upload new
Oh
content.
my god.
And so I want to let you guys look at this video. There's a lot that this three trash bag carrying Strawbesky is saying as he's following behind this
I'm
woman.
sorry. I gotta see what she looks like. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Cynthia G.
She look crazy, bro. I'm not going to. She look crazy.
That's what I was. Not to talk over the video, but oh my god.
On her page about that as well.
I thought she would have looked like Beyonce or something like that. Right?
With that type of no. Honestly, I thought that she would not look like this, but it's like when you see it and you're just like, damn, I want it to be wrong so that way I could look at myself and be like, damn, Michael, you're categorizing people and all this other stuff and putting people in the bucket. And then lo and behold, the first thing I see on Google is Tariq Nasheed versus Cynthia G with her picture up, and I'm like, damn, girl, wrong picture. Like that, you thought you were killing the game with that picture that you put up there. Oh God, no. Oh no! I was
I
like,
could have a field day with her.
That's exactly it. She looks exactly how she feels. Damn it! Sorry, 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 not sorry. So, yeah, she playing that song as she's typing out the notes for her video that she's gonna put up. Just all the anthems, because you know that I'm toxic. Yeah, I sang a Caucasian girl song. Yeah, that's right. I did it. She probably she gonna be like, you heard that? You heard the Britney Spears that he put on? You heard that? That's an internalized racism that he's dealing with right now, and he's projecting on it. That's what she heard.
She's the one who oh, sit her ass down.
There you go. Yeah, she's an armchair. A wannabe armchair psychologist. She needs to do a whole lot more than go to a hair salon. She needs to shit. No, just some high advice. Just no.
They talk about how all these want them and desire them when it's not the case. But then I'll and wrap up this commentary. I'm not sure that you approached me on the subway, and I don't really need that right now. I'm a man on the outfit, like I'm
Oh my god!
I don't want to speak right now. Try to be as polite as possible, but I don't really.
Come on now.
No, I don't want to give you my phone number. I don't want to talk to you anymore. No.
Ew.
Please don't look at my ass when I'm walking away. I really don't need you to do that. No, I'm good, thank you.
All right, so
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, her fear. I'm sorry. Her fear is not what's funny. Just so I can make sure that our viewers, the the fear is not what's making me laugh. It's the fact that this woman, out of all this literally speaks to the character of this woman. To use this example, I'm not sure if you're going to touch on it, but to use this example of a hood dude, like where's the eloquently speaking African American males that approach young Caucasian males, I mean women on YouTube channels all the time and have easy conversations with them without feeling weirded out or any types of way feeling like they're being hunted down, and so to speak. Come on now, like, and now you got this girl on here, just showing, doing all, like, come on, man, like low hanging fruit, dude.
Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, definitely not. You're my guest on this today, so definitely, definitely low hanging fruit, like you said. And before, like Mike said, not trying to make fun of at her fear, because there's no fear. If she was in fear, she wouldn't be on TikTok right now. So that shows no.
That's
fear.
A good point.
You know what I'm saying? That shows that probably happens to her a lot. I'm assuming she probably has a fatty. I'm assuming. Because, no, think about it.
Yeah, no. She probably got the. She probably got the goods.
Dude's gonna be walking up trying to talk to you just because you got a pretty face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Especially with a mask on. Yeah, especially with a mask on.
Nothing, she's probably look. I could be wrong, but not for nothing. She's probably dressed in leggings or something very provocative.
Or
But
just
look,
something that hugs her, like some jeans, some good fitting jeans.
you
You
already
know
know.
that.
And that's
Yeah,
why she
something,
said,
something.
don't look at my ass when I'm walking away, because you know you're asking for that attention. And then when you get that, and this is to women across the board, you for that
Yeah, that's
attention.
a whole nother
And then when you
conversation.
get that attention, you don't want it. It's like you don't have a filter on that. You realize that filter on your legging that fucking filters out who you want, who you don't want. That's not how it
Right.
works. Okay? So obviously, yes, very low hanging fruit. Number two, there's no fear. She was in fear. She would have called the cops. Number three, that dude. Look, man, look. That's how you know how niggas be like that time, especially in the cities
Mm-hmm.
and urban areas. And if you want to use them as the example, like you said, the low hanging fruit, by all means. But you're doing a disservice to your demographic, to your base, Cynthia G.
Mm-hmm.
And you're lazy. You're lazy as fuck because that man is not. He doesn't speak for me or you.
Absolutely.
You are not like that at all.
Absolutely.
I would never do what he did. Not even if I was on a Vegas Strip wasted, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Because I don't have
Feeling
time.
disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't got time for that. You know what I'm
Even
saying?
in my most disrespectful moments, I would never.
Yeah, I don't got time for all that. Like either we doing something or we not. Like real
Right.
simple. Because your friend look good and she can get it too. So
Yeah.
I've done that before. So they be tight. You know how women are. They want to play that hard to get game. I guarantee you, if she was walking with another girl, and then the other girl was like, looking back and showing some, and then he was like, "Oh, so what's good with you?" And then the other girl started talking to him, she'd be upset, guaranteed.
Oh yeah. She'd be like, "Don't talk to her.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
talk to her."
Exactly.
He's like, "Don't talk to her." No, Cassandra, we are leaving. We are leaving
Exactly.
right now.
Yeah, but
Yeah, she'd be extra tight.
I heard about the Brown. I'm trying to get down, and then
Yo.
no, I'm that serious because that's how it happens.
Yeah.
Even with niggas like that, that's how it happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just enough
niggas like that.
low enough self esteem. Yeah. Low enough self esteem. He in there.
Yeah,
he gonna. It's just got to crack through the right one. And honestly, it's God. Like this is just like it again. This is just one of those things where I just I feel as though she is reaching for not the stars, but for the absolute dirt of the dirt, to drudge up, right? And it's like anything. Like if you're gonna show the bottom of the barrel for it to castigate some point, then okay, by all means. But as you eloquently mentioned, that your fan base or the people that are viewing the shit are just honestly just going to go around now looking, because you know how that's going to be some simple-minded women that see this and go, right? I know a Devontae that does that. That's mad disrespectful. Yeah, that's all he does when he goes to the club. He's just like this with all the white women. He wants to snatch them all up. And it's like, so you guys have never seen a man, not even just for white men, just to approach white men. You've never seen a man, a true man, because this right here is not this. What he's doing is not what men do. Right. And I think that's the big thing with people like Cynthia G and people that run the kick that she runs, is the differentiation between acting like a man and being a man and acting like a boy, right? And then acting like a boy. I'm sorry, being like a boy and acting like a boy, right? Because men, there's some boys that are able to dress themselves up as men. That does not mean that they are men. And I think that is something that is so problematic with any of these conversations, is that every time they try to draw up these, sort of instances, it's like they always go straight to the ones that they know for a fact are not high valued men or do not act in ways that high valued men act. Exactly. And it's like, how do you do this now? Now, if you're trying to, I mean, again, we haven't given her a chance to speak on this instant, but I feel like, again, I keep using the feel like, I have an inkling that she's not even going to address the fact that this is not what a high valued man, black man, should be acting like. I feel like she's going to driggle down into the low hanging fruit and shit all over just the fact that he was pressuring this white woman for her number and her digits and all this other stuff, and just lose sight of the whole creating value point in regards to putting together a relationship, of a sustainable relationship between black men and black women. I know for a fact she is not going to go down that route. And so that's why videos like this makes no sense for me to put up, if that was your end goal. Like, what are you gonna? Again, I'll leave it to her to respond back, but I have this inkling that it's just the non-productivity is going to continue in her conversation.
All right, let's see.
I really don't like being harassed. This is not okay. And he's screaming at me. Hello. I'm posting a update from the last video. Everything.
She should have kept the mask on.
Yeah, I thought I would have thought it'd been better. Thought it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, these COVID masks doing a lot of y'all a lot of help.
Oh my god.
But if anything, it was more annoying having a guy like sort of follow you when you're asking him not to do that. And it went on for blocks before I started taking the video. I had to he said, "Where are you going?" And I had to make up a I was like, "I'm going to my boyfriend's room." But the fact that I had to make that up really sucks. Just to get somebody to leave you alone. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm good. If you guys have any, I'm living in the Jersey area, by myself. I just got this apartment, so if you have any tips on how to this and that, I would love to hear them and read about them. So
yeah, what part of Jersey you in, girl? You in the Heights?
Exactly. So based off just that what she said, I do want to address that. Her breakdown, she was just saying that it was kind of scary, whatever. But actually, she didn't say it's more annoying that she had to lie like that. And I want to stop that and point out to dudes that do that. That's how y'all look, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not difficult to get women, and it's not difficult to get numbers from women. It's not. So if you got to do all that, you're already doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it straight 100 for y'all. That's just way too much. And I'm not saying here though, caping for this chick. I don't know chick. But then again, think about it. If I had a daughter, I don't want my daughter in situations like that. But then again, that's why brothers that have daughters out there, y'all gotta teach them how to take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then not to walk down the wrong streets or very dark streets, or walk alone or stuff like that, or dress provocatively. I'm sure she wasn't wearing sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you should. God, I get it. You should have the right to wear whatever you want, but you also have to be smart. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be smart about it. I could wear freaking all blue. You know what I'm saying? A blue bandana. But if I freaking roll through Crenshaw, then I took a risk. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
So it's the same rules that apply. You have to be smart about what you do and selective, unfortunately. But that's the reality that we live in. We don't live in an idealistic society where you can just literally walk down the street and that's going to happen to you. Regardless of your gender or your race or any of that stuff. But I just wanted to stop it to point that out.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, look, this person said, "I'm an alpha, small man."
He wasn't quote because I think that's something he said.
Oh yeah, well damn, this is Carrie. Right.
No, yeah, he made the comment that he's an alpha or something like that in the beginning of that back and forth between her.
He definitely got an alpha.
Exactly.
Definitely an alpha.
So I guess they picked up. This is what she's using to pick up on. I'm dead, yeah. But I'm sure that's what she's gonna. Yeah. Oh my God, Jesse Peterson over here. But yeah. But yeah, no, I feel like that's what see, out of everything that went on and all the nonsense that happened in that whole dynamic and conversation, this is what she chooses, right? She chooses to point out the obvious. Yes, we know this man is not an alpha. We know that he so what makes it worse is that if it's one thing if she had an example of an quote unquote alpha male doing this, right? A true alpha male, quote unquote, acting in this way, then I would be like, oh, okay, maybe she has some merit. I mean, he may not act to this high level. I mean, this level of ignorance, but if he was acting in a way that was unfavorably to a woman, right, and she caught wind of it, that would be an interesting video I'd want to watch. But to put up a video of someone who is clearly ignorant and is clearly out projected, and I'm sorry, he probably grew up with a single mother. Sorry, not
Oh yeah,
sorry. Like I if I was to throw out any aspersions, that would definitely be one of them. Is that he's dealing with a whole bunch of emotions on his end. To the point where he thinks he can act like that, especially with someone that's Caucasian, more or less.
exactly. Listen,
So yeah, please, by all means.
I saw two videos there, and the first one was the video involving this woman of no color trying to escape this three trash bag carrying struggle dusty because she sees the three trash bags.
Uh,
He understands what it means because a lot of these women, they're watching the content of Black female content creators. They're listening to Black women. So they're beginning to be able to identify those three trash bags as well. So what you had is this three trash bag struggle dusty following this woman of no color who is his preference. Remember, they said that these women love them. These women respect them. They said they're the most desirable male group. And another thing that they said that I told you guys years ago was a lie, that these women chase after them and approach them. So,
oh man, she got an ad on this motherfucker. Bear with me.
yeah, she knows she monetizing. And while that happens, I mean, damn well, and to act as though this is only exclusive to white women is just it's real funny to me because if a sister walk by with a big old booty, he's doing the same thing. So
Exactly.
there
Exactly.
there ain't no discrimination in that ignorance. Sorry.
so let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about things we saw in this video. There has always been this notion, and still is, even amongst a lot of Black women who like to give excuses to men who choose to engage in this treason, who choose to compare them to these wounds of oppression, who choose to follow after and chase after these women so that they can live that fantasy of being a man of no color. That lie is that these women chase after them. And this is a common misconception, and this has been the narrative for so long, where you have Black women.
Well, let me stop right there real fast because again, like as you stated, like she used the low hanging fruit of this guy going after her, and she's trying to parlay that into white women don't go after Black men, which is false. That is
Mm-hmm.
super false. Super.
Mm-hmm.
You can go anywhere. You can go to an NBA. You can go to an NFL game. You can go to any rap concert. You can go to a high school basketball game. You can go to a college
Mm-hmm.
basketball game. You can go to any studio, any music studio in the United States, and you'll. So she's living in her own fucking fantasy because
Yeah,
that's what she
absolutely.
wants. Misery loves company, and she's trying to create that false reality. Like no. In that video, that dude was hounding that woman. But does that mean that quote unquote white women don't go after Black women? No, not at all. That is super true. Super true. And you know what? Like in the beginning of the video, that one woman said, "Oh, it's not a good thing to be hit on by a Black man or whatever." Listen, you can say what you want. Everyone has their own personal preference. But at the end of the day, she was fucking with a Black dude. So what are you saying about yourself then? You know what I mean? So if that's your feelings on it, whatever. Because personally,
No.
I don't care. And
Mm-hmm.
most dudes shouldn't care. You should obviously, fuck with people that want to fuck with you. For instance,
Right.
like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I'm all for Malcolm X. Like if they don't want you around, then why force yourself around people that don't want to be around you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you got to stop not wanting me around. You can keep not wanting me around. That's fine. And I'm gonna keep my ass over here because I don't want to be around people that don't want me around.
Right. Of course.
Real simple. So if there are, which I'm sure there are, some quote unquote white women out there that do not want that attention from quote unquote Black men. That's fine. No one's sitting here saying, well, you gotta, it's 2021. You gotta nah, fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck. And neither should
Right.
because there's just plenty out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think just real quick, I just think that it's just plainly, I mean, if she's talking about it's not a good thing to be courted or to be getting the attention from Black men, I mean, if this is the type of man, quote unquote man, Black man that you're receiving attention from, I mean, I wouldn't want it either. So but let's be genuine though. I highly doubt a guy dressed to the Dons who comes at you with the swagger of Simon from Simon Hastings from fucking what was that show that everybody loved, that British show that everybody was talking about. I completely forgot it. With the Duke of Hastings. Either way, um, like if people, Bridgerton, sorry. So like, if somebody came at you with that type of class and personified, which there's a ton of men like myself and Aaron who are able to eloquently speak in such a manner when put in the certain settings, then I highly doubt your first moniker is going to be going on TikTok and going, oh my god, these guys, they so nicely came up to me, or they so smoothly, were trying to have a conversation, and I just, I feel so, I feel so anxious and and afraid. And no, come on now, cut the shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you're gonna turn, like, if you might turn down a dapper looking man of color, but I guarantee you're not gonna be sitting there talking about, that finely dressed man is not the type of guy I wanted to get attention from. Come on now, come off it, come off it.
Exactly.
The disingenuity is rising. Sorry,
Well,
I should say it's risen,
yeah,
if that's even a word.
Who are caught up in black male worship, who will say, well, these women aggressively go after these men, and they just can't deny them because the women are so aggressive. Listen, I live in Seattle, and Seattle is in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh,
So is Oregon, Washington, California. Obviously, Seattle is in Washington, but those areas are concentrated with a lot of black male swirling. Like, these men don't want black women to the degree that they will look at another black man as weird if he's with a black woman. I remember I was in Seattle and I was dating a black man, and everywhere I went, there would be black men with women of no color, and they would look at this black man that I was with like he was crazy because he was with a black woman. So you have a dynamic where you have a...
no, they were probably looking at him like he was
come on
crazy.
now,
He was crazy for being with Joe ass, and that's why
come
you
on
got
now.
with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's
Or
you said you were dating him and no more. I wonder what happened to that.
bro, this is what I'm talking about, creating meaning, man. Like, Lord, like, look at the story of what happened that this girl is creating for herself. Like, she didn't go up to any of those people to ask how they feel about her being with a man that probably resembles coming up from a similar background. She didn't do that at all. I guarantee you. She just looked at everybody else, looking at her. Maybe she was dressed crazy. How about that? Maybe your style, your fashion choices suck. And they're probably looking at the guy that you came with, because he was probably a weirdo. Because I'm sorry, if a guy is dating you, sounding the way that you are, and if you've been this way majority of your life, I'm sorry, he probably dresses a certain way too. That's gonna get people looking at y'all like, oh man, they the weirdos. So no, I highly doubt it's because you guys were together and that you guys were black. Like, come on, man. Like, what? You're a mind reader now? What are you, fucking Jean from X-Men? Like, what fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly. She got to
Fuck are
use
you talking about?
what was that called? That professor used Cerebro.
Yo, yes. Oh my god, dude.
He
You out
used to
here
sit there because of
You out here
Cerebro.
reading the minds of 20 people in a restaurant in a matter of 5 seconds. Like, oh, they thought we were all. Oh, no, we don't make. We're not okay. No, we can't be here. This person over here hates us for the way we look. Like, well, what are you doing? What are you like?
Cynthia,
You're
Professor
living.
X, lost sister. She got a bald head.
Yo, what kind of life is that? What kind of life is that you're gonna sit there and oh my,
I
people
told
like
you,
that. People
projection.
like that. Oh, exhaustion.
She's projecting that shit. People looking, and that's what your assumption is. No, I can tell you right now. When I look at quote unquote black couples, I don't think like, oh, why are they together? I'm happy. That makes me happy. And I hope that they're doing things the right way. I hope that
Absolutely.
he's a real man, she's a real woman.
Mm-hmm.
They respect each other's roles and understand that it's a companionship. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
compliment. You compliment one another. Cynthia
Mm-hmm.
is obviously incapable of complimenting anyone. Like
Mm.
she has shown throughout this 11 only 11 minutes, and she has multiple videos obviously, but just with this 11 minutes, for those of you on my channel that have never heard of Cynthia G, or for you, Mike, you've never heard of Cynthia G. In these
Nah,
11
yeah.
minutes, she has shown
Lord.
it's obviously like it is like out of the realm of reality for her to be a suitable woman, a suitable wife or girlfriend for that matter. And again, she said, "Oh, I was dating this guy." Please, how about you like go into detail on what happened with that relationship? Because if you wanted to call him a struggle busty or whatever you've been calling, I guarantee he'd probably call your ass up and be like, "Cynthia, take that shit down, or I'm gonna air your dirty laundry out." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let them know really about you and why I had to
But
how why I had to get a restraining order on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's just crazy. She says that, but just quickly, she says that the person, she says that in Seattle, it's highly prevalent that, or so I don't want to quote her directly, but she says that they're to find black men and women, black men dating black women, you know, rarely happens. But then she gives an example of her being with a black man, as to say what, like that, like what was that? So that was one of those rare. You were one of those rare few gems that a black man was like, "Yes, I want to be with you." Like,
Yeah.
that interests me.
But she did not expound on that exactly.
No, no, of course.
Brought up how rare it is. Uses herself as an example, whether it's true or not. Who the hell knows? I have to question that.
Mm-hmm.
And then doesn't expound on like, oh, this is how we met, and this is how we
Mm-hmm.
broke up. Because like I think that's some real interesting context to add.
Yeah, I'd be I'd be like, what did he see in you, right? Or what did you? Because obviously you read all the minds in the world. What did you perceive him to see in you to think that you were someone that he would want to carry through life with at that particular junction um, in your life? So that's I would think that for your viewers again, but I don't think she's interested in genuinity with her viewers. Truly, I don't think that's what she's interested. Because if she was, she would provide that level of insight. But no, she's going to leave her personal life out of this and probably use that's my business, and hold on to that, that sinking ship as long as she can until somebody calls her out on her Derek Jackson bullshit. And that will be the end of her, the end of her end of her run, if it ever gets to a run. But 57,000 viewers. Hey, look, if we could do 57,000 viewers on our channel, I'll take it. Shit.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
So,
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, if
shit.
I had the platform that she had, I would take that. But
Yeah.
if I have to, if I have to create, or we have to create content like this, if you want to call this content,
Yeah.
get that. I'm not for that.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
not for that at all. I'd rather
No.
do what we're doing and have like a very modest subscriber tally. At least that way I can stand by the content
Right.
we create.
No, for sure.
And there's real meaning and value in it. I don't see
Jesus.
the value in this from a male's perspective or even from a woman's perspective. Because what she's doing is she's literally giving out disinformation. She's
Correct.
setting women up for failure. Because she's hurt. She's hurt.
Yeah.
So she's gonna make the rest of y'all hurt. And
Yep.
I don't know if y'all want to, man. That's
Her
fine.
therapist is getting paid. I'll tell you that right now.
Hell yeah.
Will go to places where it is more acceptable. You hardly see any black couples in the Pacific Northwest, and that's
There you
including
go.
in California, and a lot of people said Arizona too. But whenever I was there, even when I wasn't with a black man or wasn't dating anybody, most of what I would see is black men chasing after women of no color, just like what you saw in this video. These women are not chasing these men, and they don't have to. There's no way in the world a woman is going to chase a male group who constantly publicly displays how much they want and desire and are desperate for them. It's not going to happen. There may have been a time back in the 70s and after anti-miscegenation laws passed where these women may have been aggressively pursuing a kinky taboo that they want to get off. But now,
Wow.
21 and even before then, no, these black men chase these women because that is what they want. And it doesn't matter whether she's the Michelin Man, whether she's Krispy Kreme donuts or marshmallows on legs. They're chasing these women just like what you saw in this video. So on this hair character.
Oh, that was funny.
I'm definitely not gonna let her do this hair care journey shit. I'm gonna speed past that. But look, I will say this: there are people out there that have preferences, and there are some black men that have a preference to a Caucasian woman. that's their preference. What? Who the fuck gives a fuck? Cynthia G. Why the fuck do you care what someone's preference is?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because that's the thing. That's the thing. So just for the guys out there that may have a preference and that's your preference, don't feel no type of way because Cynthia G's bald headed ass out here trying to sell
So,
hair care products. No damn well she had a fucking a wig all up on her head. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't real. That shit is
I'm so dead
she
right
wish
now.
she had real hair, like you know what I'm saying? You
Yo.
know what I'm saying? She look like this, her shit coming right the fuck off.
Yeah, I'm so dead. But I mean, honestly, man, what I will say to her point is that I can, and this is where I think that because she doesn't provide any context in her quote unquote feelings on any matters throughout this whole video, when if you have an issue with people getting to the crux of their preference by way of toxic means, right, by way of self-hating and just shitting on others, right, in order to heighten and level up the appearance of what they want out of a woman, right, namely being their preference, that's understood. But for you to just take this generalized approach that anybody that says, no, I just, I grew up in an area where I was surrounded by, non-color, because this distinction that she even gives them is crazy, non-colored individuals, and so that's my preference. What do you like? If she still has the same anger towards those individuals, I'm right in your alley. I'm like, damn, man, like what? How does a person win that argument or that conversation? How do they even get out of that conversation with any set of sort of productivity or any sort of understanding if I'm a product of my environment and I simply just say, oh, I just that's just what I'm used to dating. It's not like I have a problem with people that look like me. Essentially, that's just my preference. So if she has a problem with those people, I got a problem with her. If she has a problem with people that are self-hating and sabotaging, the what their mother and sisters look like just because of something that they're dealing with, I have a problem with those individuals, right? Because they're not being authentic.
Yeah.
That's so. But she needs to address those people, and she's not doing that. She's just throwing a blanket statement over people who have preferences towards a certain group, and that's not okay because you just sound like someone who's just you're not out to gain understanding. You're just looking to just cause, as my co-host talks about a lot in our podcast, just cause more chaos, like without any sort of resolution.
Exactly.
And like, where are you gonna? If that's the point of your pod, I mean your pod. If that's the point of your channel, then Lord, I mean, as that my co-host also mentioned, we're not. That's not something that I even could see myself just signing up for, regardless of how many viewers I get. You
Exactly.
know?
How he's
Holy
an
shit!
alpha male. So black men know in this society they are not alpha males. They don't have any resources. They're sitting up waiting, depending on stimulus checks, just like we are. There's nothing alpha about them. Whenever you ask them why they're not building, why they can't protect or provide for their community, they will tell you it's because the white man won't let them. Yet you have a struggle dusty with his 3 trash bags chasing after
Yo, this
his
struggle dusty thing, man.
despite the fact that she keeps rejecting him.
That's funny as fuck,
Can't
man.
wrap his mind around why a snow bunny who is obsessed with BBC or so they think will be rejecting him. And he claims to be an alpha male talking about he goes after what he wants, despite the fact that she's making it known, hey, I don't want you. He's not an alpha male. Black men are not alpha males. And so what they'll do in order to try to feel like they're an alpha male is number one, aggressively try to obtain a snow bunny, and number two, try to browbeat and manipulate black women into submitting to them despite the fact that they have no leadership power or authority. Submission comes to those who have the authority to reward or deprive people of resources or whatever in the event that they don't submit. Black men don't have.
That's not true. Did you hear what you just said?
I heard it, and I'm there. It's not true because none of it. She jumped all over the place. She didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, hold on. Let me play that.
No, because I heard it. She literally fucked herself over.
Alpha male is number one, aggressively try to obtain a snow bunny, and number two, try to browbeat and manipulate black women into submitting to them despite the fact that they have no leadership power or authority. Submission comes to those who have the authority to reward or deprive people of resources or whatever in the event that they don't submit. Black men don't have that.
Yeah, so her obviously her definition of submission in the context that is used in relationships is wrong. She's the way she just described it is like pretty much like a slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, that's not the type of submission men are looking for in relationships. The type of submission men are looking for in relationships is to submit to the male principle and
Mm-hmm.
respect it. It's that simple. You know, you have a man, let that man be a man. Do not
Mm-hmm.
try to challenge your man, especially not openly challenge your man. That's not, that's not what it's about. That's a submission. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she's talking about some other shit. Like and again, she keeps talking about no resources, no resources. The community itself has no resources. So if that's the case, where do we go from there, Cynthia G? But again, like I said multiple times, if you're not for the quote unquote black man, you're not for the community. So obviously she's not for the quote unquote black man, so she has nowhere to go after that. All she can sit there and say is that, oh, black men have no resources. They have no resources, so they have nothing to offer you. We have nothing to go for there. So why would we go with a black man when we can go with a man that has all the resources? And I did a video about Cynthia before, and I said this. If we all know that the ruling society is the European, right? We all
Mm-hmm.
know that. So short of a fucking revolt, which will be, next to impossible, where because black people only make up 13% of the population in the U.S. anyway, right? So we're
Right.
highly outnumbered, and they have the military. But short of a revolt, the way society is right now, they have it set up where the black man's at the bottom. So there's no way that we can usurp that authority. So if your mindset is, oh, they don't have any resources, so then just say you want to be with a white man. Because in your lifetime, it's never going to turn around where black men are going to have all the resources. That's not going to happen in my lifetime,
Right.
her lifetime, or my child's lifetime. It's never going
Right.
to happen in our lifetime. So just say you want to be with a quote unquote white man. Because if your argument is resources, then we already know we're never going to have more resources than them. The race has already started. You know what I'm saying? So we're never going to get, even if we get some, we're not, you see, we're not going to catch up. It's going to keep on going like that. So just say you want to be with a white man. Don't try to flash all that imagery on us and say, oh, we don't want black women. When obviously you're the one talking about resources and something that you know that you'll never be able to hand in hand equate.
She's selling. Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point. She's
No.
full of
Yeah.
shit. It's full of shit. Because
Yeah.
that's like the fifth time she's quoted resources.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So how do black men get? Is it possible for black men to get resources? Yes. Is it possible for black men to get more resources than the ruling society? No. So if that's the case, we're never going to have the resources that you're talking of, or speaking of for that matter. So then why even we having a discussion if you're solely worried about resources?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think. I thought at the beginning of this, that listening some way through, I thought that her goal was to bring, what that I mean, I thought that could be potentially her goal was to have black men and black women together. But after listening her continue on her dribble, I just don't. I think that could be farther from the truth. If I'm to be frank, like I don't see a place where she believes that you know black men and black women should exist together, or at least in the space that they are in, quote unquote, in her eyes now. And it's becoming so increasingly clear that she's selling. Like I was just saying, like as you were mentioning, I believe that she's selling herself by way of selling to her community on her fan base that hey look y'all, these ain't shit Negroes, right, are gonna keep on trying to manipulate you and do that. So why be with them when you could be with the people who sit on the other side of the aisle, who obviously got their shit together and are gonna be able to give you what you need, holistically, give you the type of man that you're supposed to be with. If that's the case, you just went on 25 minutes. You're gonna go on 25 minutes shitting on the black man for what? For what? When all you need to say is that, hey, look, black for me ain't it.
Exactly.
It ain't it. Like she just wasted all this time, and I won't say wasted because I know what she intentionally is trying to do. She's intentionally, bless you, she's intentionally trying um to to denigrate that side of the aisle, right? Because a ton of black people do this too. Black guys do this too. Where they shit on a side so hard just so that way they can be able to um to, and that's what I was talking about, where the genuinity, where they then are able to then go out for those women that they say are the better prospects. You're on the same plane of those people. Why? So I don't. What you're doing right now is again counterproductive. All that dribble she just gave in the last 30 seconds that you played is just constant counterproductivity to the end goal that your base. This is because your base, that's what your base wants. Your base essentially, wants to find a good black man that they can take home at the end of the day. Well, how are you starting the conversation on finding the right black man? Where is any of that?
She don't know how to. And even
Where
if she
is any of
did
that?
find him, even if she did, she wouldn't know how to keep him. So
She wouldn't know because she wants to play all the shit about. She wants to play the bottom of the barrel guys of the R spectrum. And if that's the case, then as my co-host just mentioned, like, it looks like she's incapable of seeing what a good man, or I don't even say a good man, because I hate getting lost in the good bad, because though it's highly subjective. A sound man, I will constantly say this: a sound man who lives up to his ideals and creed. I don't think she even knows what that looks like.
yeah,
I don't. I don't.
no, man, she don't. Let's see what else she got, and I'll wrap
Oh,
it up because it's the
yeah. How
same.
long have we been on?
Therefore, they can
We've been
never
going
be
for an hour and a
alpha
half
males.
almost.
Yet you have
Oh,
one
all right. Yeah. So that probably a good time.
alpha male. And the reason being is because if he's with a woman of no color who gives birth to men of no color, then he can pretend to be an alpha male because men of no
Oh,
color are alpha male. So of course, if he can
What kind of like? What kind of armchair psychology? Like, does this bitch think she's like an anthropologist as well? Like, what?
oh my god.
Now she's talking about biology
She
and,
got one psychology
and
degree.
phenotypes now. You
She
know,
got one psychology degree from a community college, and she don't know how to act.
she's talking about
Oh,
phenotypes and linking that to alpha male. Like, I'll speak on the alpha male. Look, it's either you're born alpha male or you're not. Now, it's natural. Some guys can put up a front to be alpha, but for the most part, it's you either born it or you're not. That guy that was doing what he was doing, that's not alpha male qualities, man. You know what I
right.
mean? That's not how that looks. So she keeps talking about the whole alpha male thing, and then I saw one of the comments said alpha males aren't real. They're very real. The only thing is, if you don't think they're real, it's because they don't talk to you because they're not attracted to you. Because alpha males, we have like this radar where we can sense the bullshit, and we don't put ourselves in the crosshairs because we could just override all that. There's no point. Alpha males don't put themselves in positions to deal with shit that they don't have to deal with. So
Mm,
that's why they think it's not a real thing. No, it's real, but you're not qualified to meet one, and that's why you haven't met one.
mm. I think So I think the only thing that me and you will differ on is that I do think I don't think all alpha males are born, right? I think you can be nurtured into being an alpha male. The way I say that is by again having a sound, I don't want to say alpha, but essentially a strong male presence in your life who is able to create the mentality around you by which you see life through a different in a very sound spectrum,
Yeah.
right? So I think that you know you can be nurtured into a male into an alpha male, but it has to there you have like there's no room for error, right? There can't be any disingenuity, because as soon as that's seen, the walls come down and then the softness comes out, right? So if that father finds himself doing, being disingenuous with his actions, then that will blow the roof off and we've seen that, right? Where it's like, I worship my father and all this other stuff, and then he did some whole shit to my mom, and it completely fucks up abuse shit. I'm not talking about myself, but I'm saying, like, for most, we've seen people who've gone through that sort of trajectory and transformation in a bad way, just because of the fact that it's like, oh, my hero didn't. So now those beta and go and so on qualities start to manifest themselves, because you're not holding on to that male principle that my co-host speaks of. You're looking at the emotional actions and taking away from all the maybe the 25 years plus of sound male principle that you were exposed to, and you're just driving it just because of something a human mistake that that figure makes. So I do think alpha males can be nurtured, and I think that again, like, I think looking at the way that she's speaking, you know, the armchair psychologist that my co-host Terminator is talking about, it's something that is just there's no basis. There's no basis. I don't see where, you know, I find it hard to believe that she's an alpha male wants to date a woman like herself, right? And if she does come in across an alpha male, I guarantee you she's arguing with them on a constant basis, and they don't get along. She might be friends with alphas, like alpha males, because essentially they're gonna tell her like it is, and she may not like it. And she may like it deep down inside, but she's gonna act like she don't. She's gonna be sticky. She's gonna be real puffy and puffy about him, and at the end she's gonna be sitting like, I like the way Jerome talked to me like that though. Yeah, I liked how he told me what's good. I like how he broke it down to me. But I'm not gonna let him know that though, because then he's gonna have all the power over me. He's gonna think I'm submitting to his whim. You know what I mean? Like she's gonna play that game in her head, and in the meantime, Jerome is out there finding a high value woman for himself, and she's over there looking at Jerome, and that woman ends up being a high valued woman of non color, and now she's going, well, Jerome ain't shit. He ain't no alpha male because look at what he's dating. Look at what he's dating. He could be dating me, a high value woman, but because of whatever it is that we don't get on with, he's gonna go find himself a nice submissive Becky. That's the type of psychology this woman is going to project and is going to spew onto her viewers.
Yeah.
There's no basis. There's no basis. There's no basis.
No basis. Nothing she said was grounded in anything whatsoever.
Nope.
And that's what just baffles my mind. That people listen to stuff like that and they just go with it like, oh, okay. They don't ask no questions like,
yeah.
Well, how do you know that? Or what made you come to that conclusion? Or is that all just anecdotal? Or are you projecting? Because that's what I see. That's anecdotal, and she's projecting.
Personalized. Yep. Completely.
That's all that was. And I closed the video because enough is enough of that.
Yeah. all that negative energy, boy. I tell you, that shit ain't. Look, I don't know how somebody could want that much. I mean, I could see it because a lot of human beings, they shit on themselves constantly and shit on people around them, and project so that way they don't have to deal and reflect on their own issues. So I get that why she would have a following, but it's like, man, like the amount of negativity that must be sitting in this world is just unfounded, man. Because I couldn't if I was coming back from a long day of work, there's no way I would turn on Cynthia G. If this is the type of shit she's posting, I could never. There's nothing about her that screams hopeful, wanting, needing, understanding, a womanly. I mean, I could go on with the adjectives, Lord. Like, there's nothing about her that screams to me of wanting to be in the presence of a man that is going to cherish and love her, because I don't even think she cherishes and loves herself. If we're gonna play armchair psychologist, like I will play this in front of many psychologists, and I can stake my life on it that they are going to go ham on the inner workings of this woman's mind just simply off of the first 3 minutes that she starts laying fire to the whole black male community.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But I think this was very fun actually. Obviously, everyone who just chimed in now, who didn't see the beginning. This is Mike. This is Big Mike. This is my co-host from my podcast, our podcast that we have, Moss Media, which is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you could just Google it. It's everywhere on all different platforms. So I brought Big Mike on that way we can test out the visual, because we're looking to add visual to our podcast as well. And then for my subscribers on my YouTube channel, you guys know this is the first time you've ever seen me, probably. And so obviously we're trying to branch and evolve and create better content. I'm not saying that the content that we were creating before wasn't great, but obviously we always want to keep on being innovative and trying to give you guys the best that we possibly can. So, but with that all being said, I think obviously we're going to move forward with doing visuals for the podcast, and obviously I would definitely like to bring you back on this platform, Mike, so that way you can give your 2 cents on other issues, because there's plenty of stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah, man. No, man, I want to thank you. I I want to thank you for having. I'm sorry, I was trying to get the Instagram, our Instagram up on the in the chat, but I'm not sure how to do that. This is all still new for me as well. And yeah, just quickly, I want to appreciate you and thank you for having me on your channel. And I could definitely see the progress that you've made, and I'm happy to be able to hopefully add some some additional color and commentary to the double A Head family.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated, brother. So with that, y'all, peace.
Peace out, y'all.